Hey everybody! All right, so this workshop is going to be all about staying healthy at the grocery store. So it's kind of where everything starts, but it's also where everything can fall apart really, really easy. So I'm going to give you a bunch of different tips on how to make the most of your grocery trip, and how to stay on track and on budget while you're doing your shopping. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest that you do is plan ahead. Loosely meal plan. You don't have to plan exactly what you're going to have, but kind of loosely meal plan. Have an idea of the few dinners you're going to make, what breakfast you're going to have for the week, what kind of snacks you're looking for. Then do an inventory of your pantry and your fridge and see what ingredients you already have, and then make yourself a list. This is going to be super important to keep you on track health-wise and on track budget-wise. When I grocery shop, I literally shop by my list. If it's not on the list, it's not in the cart. I find that it really helps to keep me on track. And then if I forget something, it's because I forgot to put it on the list. And then I usually do a second grocery shop midweek. So I do my main shop on the weekend and my second grocery shop midweek. And that's where I can grab the ingredients that I forgot. So I can always push a recipe to have it not start to or not happen till later in the week or something like that. So I find that to be fairly helpful. Number two is going to be to limit your convenience products. I totally get that there is a place for convenience products. You're not going to make every single thing that you consume from scratch. At least most people aren't. If you do, that's awesome. You're rocking it. I'm super proud of you. But if you're not, you're going to add some convenience products to your cart, but just kind of limit them and try to be mindful and not have all of your products be convenience products. So some is okay, but moderation is going to be key. Also, keep in mind what you're using convenience products for. If you're using them for nights when you don't get dinner ready, when you're really busy, something like that, when there's no leftovers and you need something for your lunch and you have a tuna packet, is a different convenience product than having hamburgers every night of the week because they're easy and they're frozen, or chicken fingers or whatever it is. So just try to limit those convenience products and make more products or more foods than average from scratch made ingredients. The next one is going to be plan your route in the grocery store to spend the most time in the departments with the least processed foods. So, what that means is that you want to make sure that you're spending the majority of your time hanging out in the produce with all the fruits and veggies, in the deli, maybe, in the meat department, in the seafood department, a little bit of time in the dairy department, some time with frozen foods for like frozen fresh or frozen fruits and veggies, that kind of thing, and then less and less time in the cookie aisle or something like that. So you just want to try to spend as much time as possible in the places where the food is the least processed. So think of that. You want to spend 80% of your time and fill 80% of your cart in the perimeter of the grocery store. So shop the edges. You want to be on the outside of the store and fill 80% of your cart and spend 80% of your time. Personally, to make that happen, I take 4 grocery store bins. I've made it the main grocery store that I shop at. I can fit 4 bins in my cart. So I take 4 of my bins and I fill 3 of them before I ever enter the aisles. I find that to be the most helpful for me to have a visual. You could use grocery bags, it would work the same way. You could just fill your cart like and be more mindful and look like eyeball it kind of, but try to have 80% of your cart with the food that you can find in the perimeter of the grocery store. Now, when you're reading labels, try to focus on foods with less than 5 ingredients. That's going to show you that they're more whole foods. Real food doesn't have ingredients. Real food is ingredients. So something like eggs, something like chicken, something like vegetables or fruits, they are ingredients. They don't have ingredients. So you want to focus. Again, most of your foods should have less than 5 ingredients contained inside of them. Um, if you can't pronounce an ingredient or you don't know what it is, you really need to question if you should be consuming that. If it should make its way into your cart, if it should make its way into your belly. If you don't know what it is, it's probably not great for you. That's, of course, not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time that tends to be the case. So try to stay away from things that you can't pronounce or you don't know what they are. Avoid labels that have cartoons or any sort of a gimmick to them. If they need to convince you to buy their product, you probably don't want to buy it. You probably don't need it. It's probably not good for you. If it takes some sort of gimmick to get you to buy it, then it's probably not something that you want to be putting inside of your body. Again, it's not 100% of the time that's not the rule, but a lot of the time that tends to be the way it goes. So just try to avoid those things for yourself and for your kids. Um, Once a month or so, every so often, you want to take a different route through the grocery store. You want to go the opposite direction. I know myself, I am so much a creature of habit. So I take the same route through the store every single time. And then I miss things. I miss seeing awesome products. I miss seeing different ingredients, different label or different options for the same product. So like a different thing of broth or something like that. Because I'm just so used to taking the exact same route, seeing things from the exact same angle. So about once a month or so, take a different route, go the exact opposite way around the perimeter than what you usually do. It just helps you to see things in a new light and keep things fresh so that you don't get bored in the grocery store as well. So again, about once a month or so, freshen up your perspective and take a different route. Along with that, try a different store every once in a while. Sometimes you'll have different brands at a different store, which is awesome. I know that there's a couple different stores that I kind of go to every once in a while. I have my main grocery store, but then I have a few other ones that I like to stop in because they do carry different things. Their store brand is different. And yeah, some of them have really awesome store brands now. So obviously you can't get it if you shop at a different store. So try a different store every once in a while. I typically do my big grocery shopping at one of like our larger box stores that things are a little cheaper. But then my midweek like pickup, where I'm mostly grabbing fruits and veggies and a few extra things that I forgot, I do at one of the smaller, sort of more expensive grocery stores. But they have a lot of different things. So I always keep that in mind and I try to mix up which store I use every once in a while as well. Now, when it comes to sales and flyers and all of that stuff, not all sales are deals, is just what I'm going to say about that. If it's not on your list, if it's something that you really shouldn't have in the house because it's way too tempting for you, or if it's not healthy, then maybe you don't really need it, even if it's half price or less. If it's not something that you want to have in your house, don't buy it. If it's not something that you want to put in your belly, don't bring it to your house. I find it so much easier to stay on track when I just don't have bad food in my house. It makes it so much easier for me, especially things that are big weaknesses. The next thing I'm going to mention is online shopping rocks. I love online grocery shopping. You can do it at various different stores. Vitacost is awesome. Walmart has online shopping. Real Canadian Superstore is obviously a Canadian version. Muscle and Strength, bodybuilding.com, Sam's. The Kroger, I believe in some areas has it. So check your local store and see if they have an online option. What I love about online shopping, besides everything, is that I can literally be in my house. So I can look at my list and be like, oh, do I need coconut flour? Here, let me look in my pantry and see how much I have. Oh, do I need more oats? Oh, let me look in my pantry and see what I have. Also, I don't have to walk by the cookies 4 times, that I just don't even have to open that area of it. I don't have to search for it. I don't even see the things that I don't want to put in my belly. So I just find that online shopping keeps me on track. For a little while, I was super organized and I was doing my big grocery shop every week with an online order. And then I would literally just go sit in the parking lot. You text them when you get there and they bring your groceries to your car. It was like the greatest thing ever. Now I'm not quite as organized with that, but it was awesome. It was also amazing because I have little kids and I didn't have to take my kids to the supermarket with me, which was amazing. So I didn't have to have them asking for Dora candy and asking for Batman gummy bears and whatever else they ask for. And our grocery store that I usually shop at has a toy section. Of course, they always want a toy and that gets pricey and all of that stuff. So the online shopping was awesome for that. My little guy could be napping in the back of the car while they brought the groceries out for me. It was so, so great. So that's just another option that you could do. You could either do that for your little pick-me-up shopping or your main shop, or even just once a month, do that to stock up on staples. Also, using the big box stores like Sam's or Costco or something like that on like a once a month, or some people use it more frequently if you have a big family and stuff, but once a month or so, it's awesome to be able to go to those bigger stores where you can buy things in bulk. There's also places like, I know Locally to us, we have a store called Bulk Barn where they sell like all the bulk ingredients, the dark chocolate chips, coconut flour, almond flour, oats, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's usually quinoa, all kinds of stuff. And it's often at a better deal than what I can buy it for in store in the packages because it's all just bulk in bins. So shop those places if you can, if you have something like that available to you, and the Sam's Club and the Costco and all of that kind of stuff. Use those to stock up on good, healthy options, which is key at those places because they tend to also carry a lot of junk. So stay away from the junk and stick to the healthy. My biggest and my last tip about grocery shopping and staying healthy at the grocery store is always eat before you go. Do not go to the grocery store hungry. It's not going to be good for you. You're more likely to give into cravings. You're more likely to buy things that you shouldn't. I often I'll eat before I go to the grocery store. I drink my water while I'm at the grocery store. And I will almost always have a protein bar or something like that in my purse so that if I do start to feel super hungry, when I'm done at the grocery store, I'm not likely to dig into something that I shouldn't. I have a good healthy option available to me. Or if I'm starving all of a sudden when I'm walking the aisles, again, I have a good healthy option available to me. So just another little tip or trick that I try to do is, yeah, never, ever, ever go to the grocery store hungry. It's just not going to be a good option. So that is it for staying healthy at the grocery store. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out and stay healthy.